Yes, I think that poetry is important in the UK, and the various different four nations of the UK have their own poetic traditions as well. I would say, however, it's still something of a minority pursuit. I think you can point to the fact that there are still poems published in the newspapers, for example. There are many people who have poetry reading groups. There are poetry publishers. But perhaps social media has made it a bit more mainstream. I don't think you'd say that most British people are obsessed with poetry, but there's of course quite a significant number of them who are. Oh my, help. Well, I mean, it seems to me that that it's probably very difficult to be knowledgeable about all the different aspects of the British poetry tradition. Really, there's kind of the bits which I'm familiar with, which does in fact tend to be sort of white men who lived in the 19th and 20th centuries is the reality. But I think there's something much richer than that which is also going on. So I think that in a way, I think that let's say diverse. That should maybe be the word which we choose. Well, I probably made a bit of an error here because it's not, Ireland is not my country, although I do have Irish ancestry. But the poem which I've chosen is An Irish Airman Foresees His Death by W.B. Yeats, and I particularly like the bit where it says, "Nor law nor duty bade me fight, nor public men nor cheering crowds. A lonely impulse of delight drove to this tumult in the clouds." And so I'm kind of appropriating an Irish poet, but I have no embarrassment about doing that. And I like it because it does seem to conjure up a particular image of somebody flying through the clouds and a sort of weightlessness, if you like. Mm. Well, I think that it's about the ability to say in a relatively few words to sum up emotions in a kind of a concise way, which moves away from a sort of strictly logical kind of way of trying to think about things. So I think that with good poems, you sort of can see how they work, but they have an effect, they have an emotional effect, which sort of seems to transcend strict logic in some way.